Okay then, so this is method 2 of doing the paragraphs. As I said, I've had students who've got an A star using this method. I've had students with an A star who've done the other method. I did find in the summer marking of exam papers that most people seem to have chosen this method. It doesn't really matter as long as, again, you're hitting those assessment objectives of analysis, judgments, and having that knowledge as well. So in this method, just like in method 1, you have your introduction where you need to state your argument, and of course our argument is that cats are better than dogs. You have a conclusion at the end, and again, just like in method 1, the textbook is called the paragraph sections for some reason, but you've got section 1, i.e. paragraph 1, section 2, paragraph 2, etc, etc. The main difference with this one, if you've noticed, is it's in each paragraph in 2 halves, whereas the previous one you had that third one called interim judgment. This is in 3. And also we start out with the counter argument first, argument against the view that you are making, and then the second half is to say, but actually my view is actually a lot better. So thinking about our example then, so we've got the theme of the paragraph. So again, we're saying that cats are better than dogs because they need less looking after, just like it was for the other one. We're going to start with the counter argument this time, i.e. dogs are actually better because they need less looking after. And then the counterpoint would be, but actually cats are actually far better because they need less looking after, and therefore better in the modern world, if you like. The crucial thing is this bottom bit. You need to make sure you say why your argument, i.e. the second half, is better than the first half. Just like you would do for the other method. Only in the other method, you kind of are forced to do that, aren't you, by doing that counter argument. So you just need to make sure you don't forget to do it in this particular method as well. So let's have a look. So this is my paragraph I wrote on this. Again, I'm going to break it down and go through it bit by bit. So, the start, the strongest argument for why dogs are better than cats is because they need regular walks, which keeps their owners healthy. So, we've got the strongest argument, a bit like with the previous one. This tells the examiner that you've got some ordering here, you've thought about it. It does actually have a little bit of AO2 as well, because you know that kind of organisation and logical structure, or whatever it's called. Dogs make better pets than cats. That's the phrase from the question. So again, it's keeping us nice and focused. And then the theme of the paragraph, basically, they need regular walks and keeps owners healthy. Okay, so that's the theme of this paragraph, isn't it? Which we're going to discuss cats and dogs over. Okay. The next bit is the argument to say that dogs are better than cats, basically. So this is because, so then that's a bit of an explanation there, isn't it? Unlike cats, there's a comparison there, isn't there, which fits into AO2. Dogs need to be taken for walks every day, which ensures the owner of the dog is kept healthy. So this is an explanation, AO2, about why dogs are better than cats. You must take them for a walk, and it keeps owners nice and healthy. I've then said this is a strong argument because I'm trying to do a bit more AO2 there, and again this kind of thinking about the ordering of points. And then we've got AO1 knowledge. My neighbour got Rover the dog, and he's been out every day taking for walks. He's lost weight as a consequence. Similarly, that word I can't say. So a second example, many dog owners say they enjoy the social interaction with other dog owners and it improves their mental health. So we've got 2 examples there about why dogs are better than cats regarding the walking business, which I'm now going to explain a bit more in blue. These examples show that dogs do make better pets than cats because they force people to go for walks and interact with others, improving their well-being and health, which would not happen with a cat. Again, you might need a little bit more explanation there, rereading it again, just to say why it's good perhaps that people, are healthy. Perhaps just needs another sentence. But you get the general gist of what I'm trying to do. And again, this is AO2, and it's saying why, isn't it? Why dogs are better than cats, using those 2 examples. And then we've got a therefore, which means there's going to be a little conclusion, which triggers AO3 in the examiner's mind. Therefore, it does appear that dogs do make better pets than cats in terms of improving the health and well-being of people who own them. So again, a little bit of developed conclusion there. The word therefore is always a great word to use before a conclusion. And again, AO3 has been met. We now, though, need to go into the second half of this paragraph where we basically say, although this is true, cats are actually far better than dogs. So, I've started this half by saying, however, a more convincing argument. So, immediately I was saying, however, by the way, is quite a good word to use when you're going to start doing the other half of your paragraph. A more convincing argument, I think, is quite a good phrase as well, or something similar. A stronger view is another one you could use. So, we're now saying, we've dealt with dogs being better than cats, but we actually think that cats are better, basically. This is a more convincing view. This is a stronger view. Whatever phrase you want to use to kind of epitomise that kind of sense. Cats make better pets than dogs because AO2. In the modern world, most people have little time to take pets for walks. Cats can be left on their own for periods of time whilst their owners are at work and are perfectly happy as long as they have a cat flap. So we're saying here why cats are better. You know, dogs like to be looked after, they like to go for walks, they don't like being left alone. Whereas cats, I think they prefer it actually, don't they, if you're not in. I know my cat seems to enjoy sleeping all day if I'm not around. And then I've got some examples. For example, Paul left his cat Zengi for just over 24 hours. Please don't ring up the RSPCA. No, PCC, whichever one it is. No, PCA. When he went to work to see his brother in Cheltenham. Okay. Similarly, that word I can never say, he and many others leave their cats at home whilst they work full time and don't have to worry. So there's two examples there for AO1 explaining or giving examples of people leaving the cats for a period of time. These examples show that in the modern busy world, cats make better pets than dogs because they can be left alone, which is AO2. And then I've tried to say why this is better than the dog arguments. Whilst it may be true that dogs may improve the health of their owners, so I'm saying, yeah, there is a point. Cat owners might sit inside eating crisps all day, whereas with a dog you've got to go for a walk. By taking them for walks, this is a weak view because in the modern world, we don't have time for it, basically. So yeah, it is true that taking the dogs for a walk is good. So I've engaged with the other argument, but then I've dismissed it by saying, yeah, that's true, but actually, who has time these days to do that type of thing? And then, so that is explaining why my view is better than the alternative view. And then we've got this little conclusion at the end for AO3. Therefore, that word again, it is clear that cats make better pets than dogs because they effectively look after themselves unlike dogs and they fit better into the modern lifestyle. So I do hope, so that is the second method. I do hope that kind of makes sense as another way of doing these things. Okay, so the final bit you'd have to do is the conclusion, and I think I'll do a little video, it'll be like 2 minutes, on how to do conclusions. So it's up to you which of those two methods, one or two, which fits into how you want to do it. And what you might want to do is perhaps have a practice at doing both methods and see which one kind of suits your style. As I've said, I always prefer method 1 personally, that's just me. Most people in the exam seem to have done method 2. People who did A stars for my students who did one or the other. As long as you've got the same one all the way through and don't switch and match them, then it doesn't really matter. As long as you're meeting those assessment objectives, AO1 knowledge, AO2 analysis and evaluation, and AO3 judgment. Okay, so I hope that's been of use, and we'll do another video shortly.